Hi guys, this is Lashette from Scarlet Moon Creations, and I am back with a new video. This is me finally doing a tag I've been wanting to do for years. My disheveled decks tag. I don't remember who originated this tag. This is a VR to them. I'll put a link in my description, but it's a popular one amongst TarotTube, and one that when I first saw it, I was like, I could totally get behind this because I definitely have some disheveled decks. I'm going to start with boxes first. And if you've been following me for a little bit, you will know that I did a video last year called my upcoming creative projects, and they were mostly related to my decks and how I have several decks whose boxes are literally falling apart. I'm playing it on the screen now so you can see some of them, because they were what started kind of the impetus for the creative project. So I was like, okay, these boxes are falling apart. I need to find some other way of holding these decks, either creating a deck bag or wrap, or getting another organza bag to hold the decks because the box are in shambles. And I may or may not have explained in that video, but I'll explain here now what happened. So we'll start with, I think, my oldest deck that is disheveled. Here she is. Excuse me now. Please keep your strings over there. The Deviant Moon Tarot. And I'll come back to this to talk about the cards. But yeah, this is what's left of the box. I might have like this side piece in the bottom and top floating around here somewhere. Why am I keeping this, you ask? Well, because the creative project is still going. I did make a wrap for this, and there's a video for that. And the wrap, I think, came out really nicely. Yeah, and it wraps up very well. And I use it all the time to hold it because this ain't doing nothing. And I did start creating a study journal for this. It's a junk journal, so I didn't create the cover yet though, and this is where these pieces will come into some use. So that is one. The next two I have taken apart, so you can't see the boxes anymore. We have the Faerie's Oracle and the Heart of Faerie's Oracle, and this is an example of what I've done and what I plan to do with the Deviant Moon Tarot, and why I keep the pieces of the box. So I made these junk journals. This is the Faerie's one, and I sewed the cover of the box on the front and the back on the back. And do I have an example of where I've used pieces? Here we go. This is like a bottom piece of the cover, and I wrote on it. I used it as a thing. This is like the middle bit that you saw in the video, and I'll show you a bit more now. And here is the Faerie's Oracle deck, and I made this junk journal again using the front and back covers for my front and back covers. Otherwise, these are file folders, and I don't feel like opening this, but those are the examples. But you can see how beat up these covers are already, like scratched and dented and a little stained from life. This did not happen when I was putting them on here. These are how they were. I can't show you the inside because look at that back cover. That's just the back of the box. I don't know how that happened exactly, but I do have the remnants of the Faerie's Oracle box here. right? So this is how it was. The front cover would have been here, right? This space here. And then it had like this piece inside, which you had to slide out, and it's very flimsy. Those four like triangle things I showed you a minute ago were right here. And then the deck, you would just whoop, right there. There was one other piece that was this color, this kind of gold color, that was like the back. But yeah, okay, like this is taking it in and out of the box is what did this tearing and whatnot. And when I first got the boxes for each of these decks, I was like, oh, I like this. But over time, I don't know these stains. Like, what? I do not know. Like, this is from ungluing the front cover. But like this, I'm not that rough with my decks. Leaning on things, writing on them, so we get these pock marks and scratched lines and all of that. So that's that box. What's left of it. There's not much left of the Heart of Fairies. That's why I'm not showing it. And this guy, the Llewellyn Tarot. This is the box. This is the box. This is the one that shows the most wear and tear, because these were all slightly damaged by water, but this one the worst. I'm gonna put an honorable mention really quick because this also got water damage, but the deck is completely fine. The Universal Goddess Tarot, I don't know if you could see like the watermarks on the bottom there. And the bags, but the deck itself is fine, so I didn't want to include this really because inside there's this bag and then the deck is inside that. So what happened was I lived in an apartment on the top floor, and it might have been after Hurricane Sandy or during Hurricane Sandy, I don't remember. So I lived on the top floor. The roof got damaged, and how we found out is that it leaked into my apartment. And I had, you've seen my videos behind me. Let me see if I showed you. Whoops, let me show you. Hi, how are you? Yes, I had something similar set up, and it was on the wall, and that where the leak happened, like not along the wall, but a little bit, a couple of inches away from the wall, the wall. From the ceiling, it just poured, and I didn't realize it was happening. I think I was at home when it happened, but I didn't realize. So like, you know, it rained inside my apartment, in my bedroom, over my altar, and the few decks that I had, which I think I had maybe three others than the four I've just shown you, and this box and one other that I had to give away took the brunt of the water. So this is why this box looks like this, and some of the cards that I'll show you in a minute look the way they do. This had something else sitting on top of it, something else, paper. So you know, paper and paper get wet, they get stuck together, and you try to peel it off, and that's what happens. So yeah, this all just, yeah. The other deck I had, the box, it was a smaller box, and it basically disintegrated. The cards wound up being so damaged. I didn't want to throw it away, but couldn't really use it. Like, they weren't completely unusable, all 78 cards, but too many. Someone wound up putting an offer in a tarot group to have like damaged cards, and I was like, you want this? And they were like, yeah, I'll pay for shipping. And that was like, okay. So I sent that to them. I don't have that deck anymore. Otherwise you would see something way more damaged. But yeah, these two show most of the obvious water damage. The other three that I've shown you the Deviant Moon Tarot and the two Faerie decks also got water damage. So we talked about the boxes because they a mess. Let's talk about the cards themselves, because I wanted to go into that and talk about what these cards have been through. Let me show you the guidebook. And in that creative projects video, I do, like I said, I show you the decks before I started these projects. And so this guy, the front and back is coming off. There is some water damage, and I'm remembering why the discoloration on the Faerie's Oracle box I mentioned earlier. Why is it like that? Yeah, so not too bad, but I've had it so long, the front and back cover were coming off. I've since put tape on it because I need to remember what this is. Here are the cards, here are the backs. You see scratches and scuff marks and fingerprints, obviously. It's this. Let me pull back for this part. It's discolored around the edges, and yeah. So I'm not sure how this is gonna go. Like, how can I show you? Oh, here we go. Here we go. The light is really showing. So I've had these so long. This is a card that has some water damage. You could see the buckling here, but it was not a lot. I've either written on something or I put something that put these pock marks in it. I realize I don't need to show you all of the cards, but this is yeah, the Deviant Moon Tarot. This is my favorite deck. This is my go-to for me for everything, and one of the ones I've used the most and had the longest. I've taken it on trips and things like that, and yeah, so like a little bit of water damage on the corner here, and on the bottom of this one here. I should probably wipe these down. This has like scratch marks. There's certain cards I know I've used a lot. This one is heavily warped, as you can see, and yeah, sometimes I use them as bookmarks, like as my card of the day type thing. And I'm not super precious with my cards. I should probably clean this. But I'm also not. I don't think I'm very bad, but yeah. I've been thinking maybe I shouldn't. People don't really want me to read their cards with this one very often, so I'm like, maybe I should not. I have more decks now, so yeah. The Faerie's Oracle, and just so you know, like, this is what the book looks like, which is not doing too bad. It's held up pretty nicely, being a hardcover, but these are the cards. And you can tell just from here that this is a deck I've had for a long time. This still has the washi tape on it, so you're not going to be able to see everything, but this did get water damage as well. And it's just, you know, fading around the edges because I've had it so long. Like I said, sometimes there are pock marks and somehow folded edges. Like, look at, I was thinking about dyeing these because it's getting old. So like, yeah, this one has got some water damage in the corner there. Here, I think you can see it better on the back. I get the light to do its thing. The sun. And, you know, general wear and tear. I don't exactly know what happened here. I might have spilled something. This doesn't feel like... Oh no, maybe it was... Okay. It was water dropped on it. from the back, and that's why it looks like that. Like, I don't use that card that much. Yeah, a little bit of buckling from water damage. This probably fell off the side of my bed. And got, like, it fell on its corner and it got pushed in like that. And just generally, I think, I don't know how well you guys could see, it's not pure white anymore. There's, like, some of the gold, and I think that comes from the backs of the other cards. This guy has got some water damage, buckling, and folds in it. This one I probably had as a bookmark or something, and that's why there's like creases in it. I used it as a bookmark. But I don't know how this happened. I truly have no idea. Like, I have got other cards you've seen already, a little with like little park marks like this, but I don't know how that happens. I don't think I like wrote on this. Even if I did, like, what happened? What was I doing? This guy was my favorite card. Still one of the activities when you get the guidebook is like pick your most and least favorite, and this was the favorite for the longest time, and so I have this card out often. It's got some water damage, but it also just got used way more than any other card. Let me see. This one has some random scratches. I don't know how that happens. Though I have dropped some of these on the floor. Some of these I've lost for time. Like, what did I do with that card? And you find it in the randomest place. Yeah, so fold. I think this one definitely fell off the side of the bed and got lost at some point. And you can see just generally wear and tear, like the color is going on the edge of the cards there. Like, it's fading out just from use. Though this one does have a little spot of water damage. This and these two, I don't know exactly how it happened, but the edges got creased. Maybe I used them as bookmarks. This one has all kinds of dents in it, and this one was water damage as well. Yeah, random mysterious scratches, which again I think might come from books. You think, hey, you know, this won't do anything to it, and you would be wrong. So, and like I said, just general wear and tear around the edges is that. Next is my Heart of Fairies Oracle here. Those are the backs. Currently, I have it in an organza bag because I have not made a new bag for this or the other Fairies Oracle. The regular Fairies Oracle. So this is what the guide looks like. This one is newer and smaller, but still, you know, it ain't perfect, but it's mine. These are what the backs look like. And yeah, general wear and tear, kind of fading around the edges for the most part. This cardstock is a more bendy though, and so when shuffling, sometimes things happen. I know a lot of people kind of prefer this deck to the other Fairies Oracle, but I'm telling you, like, it's an easier read, but this happens from shuffling. That's, I think, a little bit of water damage there. Some random marks on the end, so you can see. Yeah, general wear and tear more so for this, and then creasing. And I was not about to be upset. Now this one, this I did. I had this out for a long time. I don't remember what I was doing, some exercise. that lasted longer than it needed to be. And I think I put something on here forgetting it was there, and it got stuck to something else, and yeah, pulling it off was a thing. And it was already water damaged, so yeah. And then more edge wear and tear than I think any other card in this deck. Folded. I promise you, like, I'm not pulling down the corners like a bookmark. I'm just, I think those were the worst ones though in this deck. That one's a little bit, yeah, water damage there. Yeah, this just I don't know how exactly these corners wound up getting folded like that, but the cards that I just, for whatever reasons, wind up using more, get more wear, like, within the deck. If I do long-term studies with a particular card, or I pull a card out for a meditative project, like, this kind of thing happens. They get dented, they wind up under something else, and yeah, I'm not too worried about it. This clearly was a cup. I think this was under something else and I didn't realize, and I put a cup on top of it, and there we go. Now there's a circle indented into the card. This one definitely got lost at some point, and I found it on the floor. And then I put it on the table, probably with the other card under a cup. Yeah. So that's the Art of Faeries Oracle. So next up we have the infamous Llewellyn Tarot. So, like, with this beat up box, let's see exactly how beat up the actual deck is. The guidebook did okay. There is some buckling. There are several pages that were water damaged, but not to the extent of being illegible or anything like that. You can see a little bit there. Like, it completely soaked through the box, as you can tell. But mostly okay. This is just an insert to keep balanced everything. And yeah. So I have the deck in this organza bag, and right away, so several cards are buckled. This one, I don't know what happened, why that crease is like that, but that happened later. The buckling though, that was the water damage. So let me show you from the side here, a little closer, how buckled this deck is. You can see certain cards definitely got the brunt of it, and that is literally from the water damage. Like, none of the other decks that I still have are buckled to this extent. So, like, when I take out the buckled cards, or the ones buckled on the top, it looks fine, right? And I got this little pile here. But then let's turn them over. And yeah, so if not one side, then the other. Quite a large amount of the cards just water damage. And it's mostly the majors, though several minors as well. Yeah, this one might have been out, and so something got stuck to it and I had to peel it off. It blends in pretty well with the water, the frothing of the water and the waves, but that's paper stuck on this card. Most of the buckling is pretty minor, not too bad. Let's see. who else? Like, it's the majority of the deck. In some way, shape, or form. They're just like conforming to each other. It's buckles, buckles, buckles. All that water damage. Another one that, oh, you know what it is? It probably got stuck to the card in front of it. And I'll show you the backs in a second. Yeah. And it's still buckling. This one. Let me show you guys here. These have a little more damage, more towards the top of the card there. The buckling, creasing and whatnot. So yeah. Like, this isn't just, oh, it's bowed in the middle. It's this is also, that's probably me. It's more than likely. But yeah. Major buckling there, and some paper stuck. This has a huge thing here with water damage, and no, you can't see that one too much from the back, but all of these are buckled at the bottom. Buckling, buckling, buckling. Some more water damage. This one took a lot of water damage here on the corner here, as did this milady. The lovers, huge amount, like half the card literally. And yeah, you can see like where another card stuck to the back of it, and still more buckling. So this is the brunt of the water damage, that and the deck that I gave away. Let's see if there was, yeah, so some of them, they got stuck together, so I had to carefully peel them apart, and I had them laid out to dry. It was a whole thing, and that's what saved this deck for me. The other deck I could not do that with, and it was a sad day. Okay, so next we have a newer-ish deck, my Color Mage Oracle. This is an indie deck, and this is an example of what happens when you have a deck that has no box and no bag, really. I put it in this organza bag that is falling apart. Let's zoom in a little bit. So yeah, even the cover cards are abused here. Bernard Charles, the creator there. Yeah, so this is just regular wear and tear. The Color Mage Oracle is cards with just color, so I think more than most decks it shows time passing, and I keep my decks all like this in a row, so you can tell, because I guess sometimes because the backs are reversible, you can tell, or maybe not exactly 100% reversible, but point is you can tell there's more wear and tear on the tops and bottoms for where the deck just sits. But the color, you might think, is fading. It's not. The way he created this is so that it looks, I guess, kind of like it was painted on in one coat. So they're not like, they were not a one solid color ever. You could tell the difference like between the tops and the bottoms in that way. And no, the ink is not fading. It was always very pale like that, so very hard to read the subtitles on the lighter cards like this. So yeah, it is what it is, just mostly regular wear and tear. However, we have some cards that are special, because I'm special and don't always treat my cards right? This is a deck that I guess is kind of flimsy. I think it's a decent cardstock, but it's indie published, indie printed. I don't remember where he got these printed, but he always did it himself, and yeah, they're not bad though. Just if they would be in better shape if there was a box. I'm not sure what happened here, but I'm sure it's my fault. Like the creases, definitely my fault. Again, using cards as bookmarks and putting them between books, dropping them underneath. Putting them underneath other things, occasional water damage. This was me. I didn't have this deck when the whole waterfall in my apartment thing happened with the other decks, so this, I spilled something on it. Same with this one. And sorry for the discussion in the background. But yeah, this is just me. I think this is also water damage, or maybe this heat damage from a cup. And what is that? Condensation. Cup of tea. That's what happens when you put it on your decks. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened here. Like, I generally treat my cards better. Oh, I don't know what I did on this, but the color is somehow pulled off. So yeah, the Color Mage Oracle, one of my damaged goods, my disheveled decks. Last but not least, the Lightseer's Tarot. Now this I've had not as long, nowhere near as long as any of those previous decks. Like the Color Mage Oracle, I've had, yikes, 6 years now? I have not had this as long, but there's been a little bit of damage. This, I like this magnetic opening, but that makes the corner here a little bit delicate. And what I used to do, and what I shouldn't do, was put the guidebook here, and that led to adding more weight and the ripping of the material there. So this is a similar type of box setup to the Faerie's Oracle and the Heart of Faerie's Oracle, except this is thicker than this flimsy stuff. And this is, inside. It's sitting inside. I don't have to pull it in and out and in and out, whatever. So the thing about this deck is the paper used is not flimsy, but oh my god, does it show every flaw? I mean, it's white, but also it easily marks up. So this is, this is probably from, the scratch marks are probably from writing, on something else, leaning on the book, and the cards are easily marked like that. Like, accidental scratches from my nails. That is the biggest thing I do not like about this deck. So it feels good, but it marks up so easily. Let me find. Alright, let's go over them. So, like, can you see? I don't know. There are light scratches over almost every card, and I'm pretty sure that's just from shuffling. This one has buckling and whatnot. This is my favorite card in every deck, so I think in every deck my Nine of Pentacles is damaged, just because I have it out often. So this has like creases and things. My queen, my queen, my queen. The scratches, like I said, I'm pretty sure that's just from shuffling, from moving the card about. Let me see. It's harder on this deck to be able to tell. But like, yeah, all those scratches on camera, it's harder to tell. But in person, I'm like, oh my god. They're glaringly obvious. Like, what happened? This one definitely got run over by something here on the corner. I don't know. The Fool, it looks so nice from this angle, right? Untouched innocence. And let me see, can I turn on my flash? Maybe that'll help. And no, that didn't help at all. It's too close. Just, what is all of that? What is all of that? I don't know. The bear, I definitely have this out for study or meditation, so I am. This one has some buckling, which I don't understand. This guy got creased, so definitely something I did. This is one of the ones I'm like, how did that happen? No other card has these little pock marks in it. And when they're together, that shouldn't be the case. But like, scratches, which I'm sure are, like I said, just from shuffling my nails running over the card. And like, look at that. And all I just did that. So that's the thing with this deck. And I'm just like, oh, why do it have to be so... I'm not sure what happened here. Like, it looks like something got smeared, but it won't wipe off. This one, this had to be recent. I don't remember this card being like this the last time I pulled this deck out. And yeah, I had this out for a while. Definitely under a book. So guys, those are my disheveled decks. Mostly old wear and tear use, but big spill. It rained on my older decks at one point, so they all have a little bit of water damage. And then for the two newer ones, I just don't know my own strength, apparently. But yeah. Like this video, leave a little, I guess, dustpan emoji for me cleaning up my desk. If you've made it this far in the video, that would really help. You don't know what else to put. And let me know what's your oldest deck, and also what deck you have that is the most disheveled, as it was so nicely put. What's the deck that is falling apart? Yeah, like I said, links in the description to Astro Lady Tarot, I believe, who started this tag. Her original video, though everyone is, it feels like, has done a VR by this point. This is so funny to me. And links to all of the decks I've mentioned here and anyone else's channel, anything else I've mentioned that I can link. There's also links to my social media accounts if you'd like to follow me anywhere else, and a 10% off discount code to my Etsy shop, where I make all natural bath and body products and offer tarot and oracle card readings. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.